Welcome to the Driver's Line. I'm Greg.
And I'm Jordan.
And today, we've got a conversation for you.
Today's conversation is all about car makers and the slogans they use to advertise their vehicles.
That's right. So we're going to go talk about some of our favorites and some of our least favorites too.
For sure, because there's definitely both in our category.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, start off on a good note?
Yeah, let's start off on a good note.
What do you say about that?
I'll kick us off.
Okay, sounds good.
So mine is from a storied British brand. They tend to focus on four-wheel drive vehicles. They go off-road. Yes.
Fair enough.
I'm, of course, talking about Land Rover.
Of course.
Land Rover has one of the best slogans of any brand that focuses on four-wheel drive vehicles. And that slogan is, the best 4x4 by far.
I love it. I love that. I mean, it speaks to what they are.
Yeah.
And it has
It's
a little
catchy,
attitude to it.
it's short.
I like it.
Yeah, it's attitude. It's got a little panache. For a brand that's got a lot of panache, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, who doesn't want a Land Rover?
No.
I mean, other than the maintenance
Yeah,
issue,
I mean,
but,
you're not gonna, talking about reliability. But it is the best 4x4 when working by far.
I mean, yeah, Land Rover is one of those marks that has a history in its segment. It's a leader.
Yes.
People look to it for leadership. I mean,
they do.
And how many brands? I mean, look at Hyundai.
Yes.
They're aping off of them.
They're aping that with the new Santa Fe.
Absolutely.
It kind of completely looks like a, mashup of the Defender.
Yeah, it looks like the Palisade's
Flex.
heading that way too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a reason they're the best by far, right?
Yes,
That makes
exactly.
sense. Makes sense. I like that pick.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
What do you got?
Well, my next choice here, my first choice, I should say, also is from Europe.
Ooh.
And I think it's a really nice, simple slogan that speaks to this brand. So, this brand's all about safety.
Volvo.
It is Volvo. And Volvo's slogan is simply, for life. And I think that's a really awesome slogan because it's kind of twofold, right? It speaks to what Volvo is about at its core, which is safety.
Yeah.
And we know all the various inventions and fantastic additions that Volvo has added to the automotive industry for safety. But it also talks about kind of looking at its longevity. Volvo is a brand that you can rely on for life, right? So it's dependable. It's something you can look to have and to hold and not have to worry about.
Yeah.
I think it's a really great, simple slogan.
That's great. I mean, I love ones that have double meanings, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely says, hey, we help save lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that this is a car that you can depend on for the rest of your life.
I think it fits the brand perfectly.
It does.
Yeah.
It's very fitting for Volvo.
For life.
For life.
There you
Good
go.
choice.
Yeah.
The next one that I really wanted to talk about is a brand we've been really hard on here at the Driver's Line. But they've had a great slogan and catchphrase, and one that really, really stood up to their product in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit less so today, but they still make great cars, even if they're ugly.
Oh, God.
Of course, I'm talking about BMW.
Yeah.
BMW, their cars are still wonderful, wonderful driving cars, which makes their slogan, the ultimate driving machine, still relevant to this day.
Sure. Yeah, I think that resonates and it sticks with the brand.
It does.
And people look to BMW for leadership in the driving arena. I mean, every car is benchmarked against the 3 Series.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. I mean, everybody's like, oh, you got to make the 3 Series competitor. Okay.
Exactly.
Lots of car companies have made better looking cars than the 3 Series, but it's still really hard to try to knock it off, the top of the pile there from a driving perspective.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, styling aside, they definitely have an engineering department that knows exactly what they're doing.
They do.
So.
Great products, great engines, questionable styling.
Yeah. I think it's a great call out. They are the ultimate driving machine. That's fair. Or are they?
Ooh.
Because my next pick also is a performance themed brand. And they're also from Germany. Different town.
Is this a substitution you just made?
You see, my friend, there is no substitution for this brand. And it's Porsche, of course. I know.
There is no substitute.
There is no substitute. All right, there is no substitute for the Porsche experience. I mean, they have it's a slogan that speaks again in many facets, right? Ultimately, Porsche brings a level of performance that is unique. They have various mid-engine cars. They have rear-engine cars that they've been producing in times when no one thought that they should be producing them. And as well as front engine cars, SUVs, all with this performance spin. I mean, Porsche knows what they're doing with engineering.
And it's not just a performance spin, it's also a usability spin.
Absolutely.
Like all of their cars are usability. We literally took 2 Porsches camping.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a Porsche Cayenne when it came out.
Yeah.
Had to be engineered to go off-road and do excellent off-road, but also have amazing on-road manners.
Yes.
I mean...
That's honestly why the first gen Cayenne is really the best one, even if it's not the best looking one. Because it was engineered to go both off-road and on-road. The later ones were just on-road.
On-road, yeah. That's very fair. Yeah, but I mean, when you look at a brand like Porsche, they have a very, very tight brand personality. One that, when you hear the name Porsche, you immediately know this is a fast car or this is a well-performing car. It has a purpose, and it's excellent at that purpose. Yep. There is no substitute.
Exactly. Well built, well executed.
So I think it's a great slogan for the brand.
No, it's a really good one, and of course, we're a couple of homers here, so I mean, you're not going to hear a lot of pushback from either one of us on this topic, but you know, it's definitely a good call out.
Sure. Awesome.
All right, so now we're going to pivot and talk about some slogans that are really, really bad. And I feel like I've done a lot of picking on Buick recently.
Oh, God.
But I'm going to pick on them some more because they had...
What is their slogan?
Some really bad slogans. These are actually older ones.
Old ones, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
And so they're just so bad that I felt like we needed to bring them back to the present. So the first one is, wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick than any other car this year?
No, I really wouldn't.
So really, that's literally the first problem. Is that ask a question you really don't want them to answer.
No, you don't.
You don't want them to answer this question because no, you don't really want to rather have a Buick. And it's also like a little bit of alliteration, but it's also a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
It's really hard to see. It's like the ones that we've called out for being good are all short and quick and clipped.
Yeah.
Something that sticks with you. You're not going to remember that.
No. Wouldn't you rather have a Buick?
Wouldn't you really rather?
Okay.
Really rather.
Really.
Really
the
rather.
emphasis with the really is just desperate.
And the second one, there's actually 2 for Buick.
Okay. Yeah. Hey. Let's hear.
So, when better automobiles are built, Buick will build them.
Okay.
Why don't you build them right now?
We're still waiting.
Yes, we're literally still waiting. The beautiful Avista concept is dead.
Yeah, where you at? Where you at?
So, okay, that's one of your better vehicles, and you didn't build it.
That also speaks to like when there's better ones. So they're not out right now.
No, they're not right now.
When they're built.
We'll build them.
We will.
Yeah, promise.
In
Pinky
China.
swear.
Not here.
Not here.
Yeah.
You can go get yourself an Encore.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
Yes.
That's
sorry, Buick, but really, really bad.
Well, yeah, why are they so long? Jeez. Okay.
It's because they were done by a committee. 100% by a committee. Someone's like, wouldn't you rather have a Buick? And someone's like, wouldn't you really?
Really? Oh, good one. Yeah.
Good one. Yes. Get a raise for yourself and a promotion.
Oh my gosh.
Let's rebadge that Chevy and call it good.
It's a better one. It's a better Chevy.
Yes. It's a better one.
There you go. All right. Well done. Well, I'm going to go after... You went after a brand that has been on our intervention list.
Yes.
I'm going to do the same.
Uh-oh. What's Fisker's slogan?
Actually, I have no idea. But where are we?
Yeah, exactly.
No, this is Nissan.
Oh.
And Nissan's slogan that they've had for quite a while now is innovation that excites. So this slogan is actually kind of a mixed bag for me because when it came out, they were actually in the midst of a reinvention of the brands, and they were doing a ton of work with their styling. And you know what? Honestly, like, I'm not sure it really spoke to me necessarily, but it was putting the brand out there. But they've held on to that. And now we're getting situations with Nissan, widely known, like the Frontier, like the Z.
Like the GTR.
Where they're taking platforms that have been out forever and putting lipstick on a pig. This is not innovation.
No.
Nor does it excite me.
It's literally the opposite of innovation. It's a retread on something you've already made.
Yeah. So like those platforms are very, very old and staid and so is this slogan. It does not match the brand whatsoever, and they can do better. And we know, looking at Nissan's past, and we've spoken to this, that they can do better.
Yes. We've seen great products from Nissan.
Yeah.
Like a really great product, and they just don't seem to care anymore.
No. So it would be nice to I don't know, have a slogan that matches your brand, like, come to us if you're desperate. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. But honestly, it just doesn't fit the brand anymore.
Do you have big awesome energy? Have we got the car for you?
Oh, brother. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No. No. All right. For my other worst one, I'm going to Ford.
Ooh, okay.
So this is a slogan that they used for almost 20 years. It started around 1980, and then petered out around 2000s. And you're gonna have heard it before because again they used it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's, have you driven a Ford lately?
When was the last time you had a car like this to drive? Talking about the kind of car that brings the road alive. Have you driven a Ford? Then you don't know what you're missing. Have you driven a Ford lately? Oh yeah, yeah. Have you driven a Ford lately?
This must have been around the same time as You Really Want a Buick.
Like, okay, so it's short. It's kind of catchy. It's kind of got those two boxes checked, but it's almost like Ford is trying to atone for all the junk they made in the 70s. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're
Like
right.
have you driven a Ford lately? Yeah, we used to make really bad stuff,
Yeah.
but please.
Have you driven it?
Try it now.
Come on.
It's better, I promise.
Please.
Here's your boxy Taurus.
Yeah, that's pretty desperate
And
sounding.
then they also used it for 20 years.
Wow.
It wasn't that good of a slogan, and you used it
No.
for 20 years.
That's wild.
Yeah. have you driven a Ford lately?
No, I
It's
haven't.
better now, I swear.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh, it's bad. It's
No, I
bad.
moved on.
Yeah, I'm good.
But nothing's bringing me
No,
to
I
your
haven't
brand.
driven a Ford lately because I drive something better.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it just doesn't speak to what is a Ford.
Yeah.
Right? What does it bring me?
Yeah,
Nothing.
it doesn't tell you anything about the brand or what they want to be,
Absolutely not.
what they want to do, what they want to achieve,
Yeah.
how it makes you feel.
Is it a value leader? Is
Yeah.
it dependable? Is it?
Have you driven one lately? Okay. It's kind of like the Buick question. Like
Yeah.
it's a question like you really don't want an answer
Oh,
to.
you don't.
Have you driven a Ford lately? No.
No.
Why not? You know?
Why not? Do it.
Do it.
You want to do it? Now we're just abducting people and forcing them to drive Fords. Is that what we're at? Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Why don't you like the tempo?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a pretty bad slogan.
Yep.
I gotta be honest though, I think I got you beat.
Uh-oh.
And this hurts because this brand has had a couple of good ones,
Volkswagen?
in my opinion. No, not folks. Well, actually, that one is pretty bad. Das Auto. Okay, honorable mention there. Fair point. No, this comes from another General Motors brand.
Oh no.
And
Again, these all had to have been done by committees, right? So that's the reason
Yeah.
they're so bad.
this one is just so generic. So, it comes from Cadillac. And when you think of Cadillac, what is the slogan that comes to mind?
Oh god, what was the one they recently used that was good? The standard of the world.
Standard of the world.
Yes.
And that harkens back to their old slogan, which was the standard of the
Yeah.
world, when they were producing standard of the world vehicles.
Right.
And they did try to bring that back. And I kind of almost respect them for that because, like, they're shooting for the sky, right?
Right. Well, they also brought it back when
gonna
when
be
they were
the
making
standard of the
cars
world.
like the CT6,
Right.
which frankly is the standard.
Yeah.
Right. Like
It was
it's
great.
it's comparable against the S-Class, the 7 Series, all of that.
Yeah.
It's got a Blackwing engine in it.
The driving dynamics
Yes.
of the Alpha chassis. I mean, it's standard of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, widely regarded by many publications. And even after that, when they reinvented, they moved to life, liberty, and the pursuit, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean it's distinctly American.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it also speaks to the brand.
It does.
And it's exciting. When you hear that, you're like, yeah, I want to be part of that. I want to pursue happiness.
Right.
Now, Cadillac has Be Iconic. What does that mean?
It sounds like something that an influencer came up with.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely atrocious. I actually had to, like, I remember when we first kind of talked about this idea, that was like the first one that came to mind. And when we sat down and researched for this one, I was like, crap, I forgot what the brand slogan is that I really hated so much. It's that not memorable.
Yes.
And when
I honestly had forgotten about it. I thought it was still life, liberty, and the pursuit.
Yeah, which I think is a great slogan.
Which is good.
So it means nothing. Be iconic. Does that mean iconically good or iconically bad?
Right. Yeah,
First of
exactly.
all.
There's two different ways of iconic. And am I iconic or is it your car?
Yeah. And let's be real here. Buying a Cadillac doesn't necessarily make one iconic.
No, it does not. I am not an icon, sorry.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And it also doesn't speak to what the brand is, other than the fact that maybe Cadillac wants to be a brand that other brands look to.
Yes.
And I think that's what they're trying to edge for.
It's definitely an aspirational look.
Right.
But it's poorly executed.
It's
just
terrible.
Yeah.
It's one that like is short but also meaningless.
Yeah.
Like contrary to what the other ones that we were talking about today.
they're all long and meaningless. This one is just short and meaningless.
Yeah, I mean, and for a brand that's in its seventh reinvention phase.
Right. Yes.
Like-
Seventh circle of hell. I don't know.
There's some things that we can stick to. I mean, Cadillac has built a reputation on performance now.
Yeah.
Build on that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in one direction. Cadillac doesn't have to be 100% track attack vehicles.
No, absolutely not. They shouldn't
Right?
be.
No.
No brand is really good at that except for whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right. But be iconic
Yes.
means nothing.
No.
Means nothing. So I think it's absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Get rid of it. Go back to one of the older ones.
Yeah, Cadillac, you
Sorry.
got some good stuff you can
Yeah.
use from your past. You reused Standard of the World once, reuse it again.
There you go.
Go for it. Make that make the one we talked about out of the Corvette chassis.
Oh yes.
The CN.
The CN.
Yes,
That could be the standard.
that could be the
world.
standard of the world.
For
Bring
sure.
it back.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you think about where the Corvette is, brands look to it, knock it up another notch.
Exactly. A little bit more luxury, a little bit more panache. Cadillac.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Center of the world. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our discussion on car brand slogans.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on The Driver's Line.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing.